One of the things I was asked about recently is how do you do layouts in HTML? And you can think of layouts in terms of boxes. You're laying out boxes on a screen that you're going to put text in. And if you use div tags, so beginning and an end div tag on a page, this first box right here, or image, represents if you had 4 div tags in a row. They all just stack on top of each other. However, for HTML layouts, oftentimes you want some things on the left and some things on the right. For example, if my box number 2, if I wanted it to be a navigation or a menu area, then I would want it to be on the left-hand side, and I would want the rest of the area to fill in what's left. I also might want to control the height of this area. So let me show you how I would go about creating these items. So I create some HTML tags. Let me increase the font just a little bit here. Okay. Alright, so let me show you how the div tags work. Alright, so I'll just say 1, 2, 3, 4, and if I save, and I will put this on my desktop. And now I would like to open that in a browser. Move that so you can see it a little better. So it's stacked on top of each other. You can't really see the boxes around it. So let's change that so it becomes clearer how that's working. Style equals border 1px solid. Alright, so all of the styling and layout options can go into style sheet information, which can be put in various places on the page. In this case, I'm just putting it inline, and now you can see how they're all stacking on top of each other. But I want some of those, I would like number 2 to be very small on the left, and number 3 to fill up the rest of the information on the right. Let me show you how I would do that. So to this second one, I'm going to add in another command. So I put in a semicolon, and then I do float left. And let's watch what happens when I do that. Okay, now it just gave me enough room to put in the text there. But it did do what I wanted it to. So now instead of going on top of each other by using the float command, it allowed me to have 2 of them on the same line. Alright, so the next question I had was, well, what if I want to have some width and some height associated with those? Well, for this one, I will say width 200px, which is not uncommon in a layout. So now it's 200 pixels wide. And now we'd like to give it some height. So watch what's going to happen here. Height 300px. It's going to do something a little funny. It's going to overlap. Technically, number 2 has overlapped some of the row that's right underneath it. And so to make it so it doesn't look like that, I can do the same thing to box number 3, and I can say height, give that one 300px also, 300 pixels tall. Alright. And so now we're starting to get what we would like to see in a normal layout. And just for fun, and just so we can differentiate things, I'll do background hyphen color yellow in that left-hand side. And so now you can see how a web page would start to take shape with the layout. And this is also very useful when you're making mobile apps. The same kind of idea applies, that you have all these stackable boxes and you use div tags, or you can if you're using HTML5 to design your interfaces.